Welcome everybody, thank you for coming. I'd like to narrate to you a story of one of our patients. He's just one of many that passed the trauma center. It is a beautiful April night and Willie feels great to be alive. Young, a member of the Virginia Army National Guard, recently called to active duty. No mountain seemed too high and no valley too deep. Running marathons is his passion. However, his longest and probably the most difficult marathon is about to begin that night. It is late, his car hits a patch of dirt and at high speed goes out of control. The car rolls over several times, hits a tree and comes to a halt, topside down. Willie is suspended upside down in his seatbelt. It's 4:30 a.m. His golden hour is just begun. Within minutes, EMS team of Dennis Hale, Mike Height, and Vince Urquhart of Chesterfield Fire and Rescue is on the scene.
Chesterfield from Engine 7, we're on location. We have a single vehicle overturned. It appears to have one patient in trial.
Somewhere around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, we received a call for a vehicle accident on Hall Street. I remember when we got there, we saw a vehicle that was upside down in the edge of the woods, and there was one occupant still hanging from the seatbelt.
From command, we're going to need the Hearst tool to do a extrication on the driver's side. We need you to pop that door.
Initially, it didn't appear that he was injured that severely, but as soon as we cut him down, got him on the backboard, and he went unresponsive, and his pulse rate immediately started elevating, we knew he was in trouble. He had to be RSI'd, he was intubated, 2 IVs were started. Once we cut him down and he went unresponsive, there was no question what hospital we were going to take him to, and that was VCU.
The way he presented with the low blood pressure, you knew that there was something else going on besides what was obvious. A leg injury, but those vital signs are vital for a reason.
Level 1 centers are designed for patients like this, where we can rapidly bring lots of people together from various disciplines. Whatever the patient needs, we can provide, and at a fairly short notice. I truly believe that had he not been brought here, he probably would not have made it.
Well, his is like the goal, to come in here and to be 15 minutes from the door to the OR, and the ideal thing is to get him there quickly. You got to stabilize him, and that's what we do down here.
It is 5:35 a.m. Willie arrives with the breathing tube in place and intravenous lines running fluid. Within 2 minutes of arrival, his blood pressure falls dramatically. He is in deep shock. Emergency department nurse Gareth Reeves sets up the level 1 infuser to rapidly infuse fluid and blood. The fluid and blood are warmed to prevent hypothermia. His legs are mottled from poor blood flow, and he has an obvious fracture of his thigh bone that is quickly splinted to be dealt with later. He's clearly lost a lot of blood from his thigh bone fracture, but that is not enough to explain his dire condition. Trauma surgeon Dr. Corey McBride is certain that he's bleeding inside, but the question is where. He cannot be taken to a CT scan because he's too unstable. Emergency department physician Dr. Dana Honig performs a bedside sonogram that shows blood in his abdomen. Dr. McBride decides to immediately take Willie to the operating room. It is 5:50 a.m. Willie has been in the trauma bay for 15 minutes. In that time, he has received 5 units of blood, has had 2 tubes placed in his chest, has had his leg fracture splinted, has undergone a diagnostic sonogram, and is on his way to the operating room to control the bleeding. In the operating room, he is bleeding into the pelvis from a complex pelvic fracture. Since he is such a critical condition, no formal control of bleeding is possible, and the area is tightly packed off with surgical sponges. While the trauma team, led by the trauma surgeon Dr. McBride, works in his belly with the help of OR technician Dr. Silas Shaw, anesthesiologist Dr. Linwood Stallings is working to stabilize him by giving him large volumes of blood and fluids.
Every time that he slows down in his transfusion, his blood pressure drops, so he's very unstable. It only took 10 minutes from the time that we got into the operating room to the time they had him open and packed off, so we were able to stabilize him at that point. So it was a very rapid type of thing, and that can only happen when you have a team that works together, and actually is most useful when you have a team that works together frequently.